Hey, what's up you guys? And today we're going to talk about this new crypto game. Well, technically it is not released yet and it is called DungeonSwap. DungeonSwap currently sits at rank number 6 at Dop Radar. Let me just share something regarding this. Crypto Blades way back June and early July, it is not rank 1. So it made its way from not being here to rank 8, between rank 8 to rank 25, and currently it sits at rank 1. And with DungeonSwap not being released yet, there is a possibility that this could be the next big thing, the next Crypto Blades, you know. And DungeonSwap is a decentralized tabletop RPG style web game on the Binance Smart Chain with yield farming features and NFTs as equipment for the battles. And if we say tabletop RPG, these are the type of games where players take the roles of fictional characters and in a fantasy setting, and it's mainly characterized by adventures. So if you are familiar with dungeons, dragons, knights, elves, and weapons like swords, daggers, and other mystical items, that is tabletop RPG for you. Let's go back to the website because we're going to familiarize ourselves with the different features of the website. And you can see it here on the left panel. Okay, the first one is home, and this is where you can see the introduction, the farms and staking, where you can unlock your wallet, connect it to your MetaMask and whatever wallet you're using. There is also the announcement, and it's from their Twitter feed, the stats, so that's the homepage. The trading market is where you can convert your tokens in order to obtain the tokens being used inside the game, and that is DND. DND current conversion, you can see it on the lower left portion of the panel, and it is currently $9.030. So if you're going to check that on CoinMarketCap, so it is around 8.96. The thing is, CoinMarketCap is real time, so we don't know if this is real time. So but anyway, this is where you can check the current conversion of 1 DND to USD. Next is the liquidity fountain. Liquidity fountain is where you can combine tokens. Why do you combine tokens? Because in Fantasy Farm, the token being used is DND BUSD. So you basically have to combine DND and BUSD. And liquidity fountain is where you can combine those two different types of tokens. So all you just have to do is to click add liquidity, so DND and BUSD. See, this is where you can combine these two different types of tokens. Fantasy Farm is where you can invest on the game even though it is not yet released. So basically you are an early investor of the game, and like I've said, it is based on the DND BUSD token. So all you just have to do is to obtain the DND BUSD token on the liquidity fountain and put it here in order to gain from your investment. Alchemist Pool is where you can harvest the rewards that you farmed inside the game. So if you want to harvest already, if you have enough DND farmed, this is where you can harvest those rewards. And so basically those are just the main thing that you need to know, and we can now move forward to the actual game. It is the dungeon. Okay guys, let's talk about the secret about the dungeon. So the story was written by a professional player of a well-known dungeon-themed tabletop RPG game which is guaranteed to get you into the vibe. Now, they describe their game. It was written by a professional player. So we expect that the game story, the storyline is gonna be epic and amazing. So we are in for a treat. There will be 3 dungeons in their first release. The first one is the training field. The second one is the Immortal Lich Forbidden Castle. And the last dungeon is the boss battleground. You will pay a small amount of D&D as entry fee to enter the dungeons. Okay guys, so you have to pay a certain amount of D&D in order to enter the dungeons. So you can see it here that to enter a dungeon it says 3 D&D, but they say that it's gonna be a small amount. So basically this is just a ballpark figure. But the thought is that whenever you enter a dungeon, you have to pay for it. After that, you are free to leave the dungeon anytime with your D&D reward. Okay. So when you enter a dungeon, you will encounter monsters, and those monsters will give you rewards. Okay, that is like the whole concept of the game. You may get an NFT even if you lose your battle. So you have a chance of getting an NFT even if you lose your battle. There is a top class mechanism to prevent cheating that has not been seen in any blockchain games. So they guarantee us that the blockchain will not be compromised because of this top class mechanism. So we don't know yet what this top class mechanism is. Maybe they will reveal this after they release the game. The extra D&D earned by the dungeons will be burned both automatically and manually. This is to reduce the overall supply of D&D. We don't know what this extra D&D is. They did not specifically explain what this extra D&D is, but the main thing here is that in order to balance the economy of the game, they have to burn this either automatically or manually. You may see different monsters even if you enter the same level of the dungeon, as monsters you encounter is randomized each time. So we all know that the game is, you enter a dungeon, you pay in order to enter a dungeon, and you will encounter monsters inside the dungeon. You can carry NFT equipment in order to boost the chance of winning against these monsters, and your strategy is that you can either attack, special attack, or escape. The attack and the escape is free, but the special attack will cost you a certain amount of D&D. So it is right to say that this special attack is somehow much more powerful than the normal one. Okay, and the monsters inside the dungeons are randomized. They said it is randomized. The odds of earning an NFT will increase as you progress to further level in the dungeon. The last level of each dungeon has almost guaranteed chance of earning you an NFT. So guys, if you will encounter the boss of the game inside the dungeon, it is guaranteed that you will receive an NFT. Remember that even if you lose on the battle, you may have a chance of getting an NFT. But in the boss level, of course you have to win it first. There is an absolute chance that you will gain the NFT being carried by that monster or that boss, the final boss. No tax at all in D&D and the dungeon. Well, they did not explain this because as far as the dungeon is concerned and the entry payment for these dungeons, that is somehow called gas fee, which is pretty normal for any crypto game. Okay, that is pretty normal in any crypto game, but we don't know what this tax is all about. So maybe this is a different thing on the gas fee. We don't know yet, so they will reveal this after they release the game. There will be 8 elements in the realm, and they are all interrelated, which is embedded into every monster and every weapon, shield, etc. And the 8 elements are water, fire, ice, wind, earth, thunder, light, and dark. So these elements have their own strengths and weaknesses, of course, and basically that's how that is all about the game. So you enter a dungeon, you pay something, you pay a certain amount of D&D to enter the dungeon, and you will battle monsters inside the dungeons, where you can have a chance of earning rewards from these dungeons. And the boss, if you won against the boss, there is an absolute chance of getting an NFT reward. And you can, after you defeat all the monsters inside the dungeon, you can get out of it and take your rewards. So that's how basically the whole this dungeon game works. So when will the game be released? According to their Medium account, the DungeonSwap development timeline, the dungeon open beta will be released by mid to late July, and its official launch will be on August. In their Twitter infographic, they specifically indicated that the dungeon open beta will be released on the 26th of July. However, this is not going to happen because today is the 29th and they haven't released it yet. We can confirm this on their website, and we can see that the dungeon is still coming soon. I believe one of the reasons of the delay was because of the airdrop campaign, where they extended the deadline, and it somehow affects the whole dungeon launching campaign timeline. The developers haven't released any announcement yet, but I think the dungeon open beta release will be moved by 1st or 2nd week of August. So guys, you better watch out this new crypto game, even though it is not released yet, because as you can see, it is currently ranked 6 at DotRadar, and the DND, which is the token inside the game, is steadily increasing. And take note that the developers haven't officially launched this game yet, so this price might go even higher. And with the theme of the game, the storyline, the adventure, and of course the rewards, I am confident that DungeonSwap has the potential to become the next big thing like CryptoBlades in the Binance Smart Chain Games. So there you go guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to like, comment, and share, and click the notification bell for future updates. Thank you, adios.